Good evening. Thank you for letting me provide an update this evening. I'm going to talk a little bit about update what we've done so far for September and October. For food service, we've tried to give the kids some normalcy inside the cafeteria. So I started off with some pictures. We celebrated French Week a week or so ago, so we were able to do some crepes for the kids inside the cafeteria. That was very popular. So we're trying to add some promotions and keep the kids excited about coming inside the cafeteria. Next slide. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the changes that we've seen, USDA meal waiver, and then we have a couple technology updates. We have a So Happy app and Sodexo MyWay.com, and then our meal pickup options. Next slide, please. So changes, as in every area of the school, food service has seen some changes for this year as well. A big thank you to the district where we were happy to be in the cafeteria and have all 6 buildings open and students coming into the cafeteria. Staff was very happy to be back and serving them. Meal options, we had to obviously make some changes to make food service successful for us, and that was reducing the amount of options that we were able to provide our students. And that really was to provide a quicker service for the kids, to be able to keep them socially distant and have them come in and out of the cafeteria fairly quickly. So we felt that those changes have been successful. We also had to eliminate any self-serve bars, and we've gone to all disposable for the students. So again, all of those have worked very well inside the cafeteria. Safety, so we have 36 frontline employees throughout our 6 buildings, and to keep our students safe and to keep our staff safe, we also made some changes. There's a picture showing we added some plexiglass to the cashier stations. We've eliminated the keypads, so at our younger level, we created swipe cards so the kids can just swipe the cards. And at the older levels, they just provide the cashier their number. And again, being that we're in the hybrid mode and half the amount of students, the volume is very doable inside the cafeteria. So we've been able to, again, get the kids in and out. We feel in an appropriate time to get them back to have their lunch. Also for the out in the cafeteria, it's very quiet, most of the lunches, which is different for this year. But the kids are very socially distant at all the lunch tables, and again, that has worked out very well. The last piece of this slide, I just put our September and October numbers of serving just over 46,000 lunches and 8,200 breakfasts, and 5,300 of those have been our pickup meals. So I'll talk a little bit about that towards the end. Next slide. So the newest thing for this year is the USDA meal waiver. This is something that most districts would not see, but because of the need for a lot of the communities, USDA, which the National School Lunch Program falls under, has in early September provided a waiver for school districts to provide meals, free meals for all students. Normally this would be based on a financial need, but USDA felt that it was vital to provide this to all communities. So the first couple weeks of school, we were still falling under the National School Lunch Program. And then mid-September, we were able to switch, filled out our application and qualify for the waiver. And again, this is important because I've had a lot of questions from families. Every student is able to get one breakfast and 1 lunch each day at absolutely no cost to them. And there's no paperwork, as long as they're choosing a full meal, they just come through the line. The students don't even question. We just make sure, we ask them, if they want to put a full meal together, and they can just go on their way. So there's absolutely nothing that the students or the families have to do to participate in this. So by beginning of October, we were told that this was going to probably cover us till the end of December. And then early October, USDA came out and said that this was going to be extended for the whole 2021 school year. So again, for every student in our district, 1 breakfast, 1 lunch every day that they can get. And in our information to families, we've listed, it's in person if they're here, it's for our virtual students that are 100% virtual, and it's for our hybrid students. Again, I'll talk a little bit about the pickup meals. So again, if a student's picking up any of the snacks or extra drinks or anything, that would require funds. But if they're just coming in for a full meal, then that meal is covered for them. The other question I had from families is, does it take away from anybody else? And it does not. Every school across the United States is applied for a waiver, and it's a benefit, and we've seen a lot of positive comments from families when they're calling and asking, that it's very helpful. So next slide. The next two, we've been slow to kind of get our technology out just because it's been a little different this year. The So Happy is a new app which we will start promoting out to families over the next couple weeks. This is where you would find your menus, your allergy information, and your nutritional and ingredient information. We are still using School Cafe to pay online, but So Happy will be the new app that again, we'll be getting that information out to families. So if you're an Amazon person, you can communicate and ask Alexia if what's for lunch at Eden Hall, and she will tell you what's for lunch. So it will be very interactive once you get it up and running. So that is our So Happy app. Next slide. So the next slide is Sodexo MyWay, and again, it is another location to find menus. When families call, or if they're new to the district and they're wondering where to find the menus, I direct them to Sodexo MyWay. I call this the refrigerator version. So if you have, usually your younger kids, they like to print the menu out, they like to circle what they're gonna buy. This is where you would go to get that refrigerator version that you can still print out and put on your refrigerator. So it is Pine-Richland School District, .sodexomyway.com. You can create a shortcut. That's where, if you go to the Pine-Richland website and click on meals and menus, this is the site that it'll take you to. And again, this one has all the fun pictures and promotions on it. This also, new to this year, does also have the nutritional information, ingredients, and allergy information as well. This site also links you to School Cafe, so you can pay online. It has phone numbers for all the buildings, for food service, and tells you a little bit about your team, and does also link to free and reduced applications for families. Next slide. So our meal pickup option, again, something very new for this year. We were able to start in March, so we saw a small participation when we were able to quickly go to this from March to June. But this year, we expanded because we were having our 100% virtual and with our hybrid model. So we had created 2 locations. The high school and Eden Hall basically provided the least amount of disruption to the buildings if we were, having cars come around and pick up meals. And we were able to create 2 different times. So we have a Google form. Families fill it out weekly. And then, they can pick which location that they want to pick up from. And our 100% virtual kids will get 5 breakfasts and 5 lunches at one time. And then the hybrids, depending what they're going, they'll get 2 meals or 3 meals. And the family only has to come once a week and to get their full meal. And again, families that I've talked to, the kids are very excited to open up their bag and find out which fruit and vegetable they have for the day, and then they try and, for the parents, make sure that it lasts for the 5 days and they don't all eat it at one time. But we have found success, and whatever model we go to, 100% virtual, this again would be expanded, and any family can participate, and really it would be no cost to them, just coming to pick up. The USDA waiver also allows, the student does not have to be there to pick up the meal, so, and it doesn't have to be a parent, so a grandparent can come. We do have communities where one family is picking up for 2 or 3 families, so they're kind of sharing the option to come pick up. So that has been helpful as well, to be able to families participate that may not be able to come pick the meal up that week. And I believe that's my last slide. Are there any questions?